1987, a small city in Argentina, Rosario. That's where a little boy was born, a boy whose future no one really thought much about. As a child, he suffered from a rare medical condition. Doctors said his body might never grow normally, but that boy would one day do something that would change the history of football. He would break records, win the hearts of millions, and become one of the greatest players of the modern era. This is the extraordinary journey of Lionel Messi. December 18, 2022, Lusail Stadium, Qatar. 90,000 people are standing. Millions more are watching from their screens around the world. One man slowly walks toward the trophy. There are tears in his eyes. This is not just a trophy. It is the end of years of waiting, because just a few years earlier, many people said one thing about him: he will never win the World Cup. His name is Lionel Messi. But Messi's story is not only about that night. It began long before that, in a small city, in the life of a small boy whose body wasn't growing properly. Doctors doubted he would ever become a professional football player, but that same boy would one day change the history of football. June 24th, 1987, Rosario, Argentina. This is where Lionel Andres Messi was born. His family was simple and hardworking. His father, Jorge Messi, worked in a small factory. His mother, Celia, worked at a cleaning company. There were no big stadiums, no bright lights, just dusty streets, and a small boy with a football always at his feet. At just 5 years old, Messi started playing for a local club called Grandoli, and whenever he stepped onto the field, it felt as if the ball was glued to his feet. Even then, people began to notice there was something special about this boy. But then, everything suddenly began to change. At the age of 11, doctors delivered devastating news. Lionel Messi's body was not producing enough growth hormone, which meant his body might never grow normally. For a future professional footballer, this was a crushing diagnosis. The treatment existed, but it was extremely expensive, nearly $1,000 every month. For Messi's family, it was almost impossible to afford. For a moment, it seemed the young boy's football dream might end before it even began. But history has shown something powerful. Sometimes the most impossible situations create the greatest miracles, and that little boy who played football on the streets of Rosario was about to shock the entire football world. A small video would soon change everything. A scout from FC Barcelona watched footage of a local match in Rosario. Messi was just 12 years old. His body was small. His medical treatment was unaffordable. But the scout saw something different, something rare. The ball seemed glued to his feet. In seconds, he could glide past 2, 3, even 5 defenders. Barcelona made a remarkable decision. They would bring Messi to Spain and pay for his medical treatment. At 13 years old, Messi boarded a plane for the first time in his life. Destination, Barcelona. Sitting on that plane, the quiet boy carried only 2 things: a dream and a football. The world didn't know it yet, but this moment was about to change the future of football forever. At 13 years old, Messi stepped into the city of Barcelona. A new language, a new culture, a new life. Nothing felt familiar. Barcelona's famous academy, La Masia, was not just a football school. It was a battlefield where only the most talented survived. Training was brutal. Hours of drills, endless physical sessions. Every day was a test. But Messi kept going, day after day. Training, school, practice, repetition. Slowly, quietly, a legend was being built. Then came the moment that would change everything. At just 17 years old, Lionel Messi played his first professional match for Barcelona. Fans watched closely. Could this small boy really compete at the highest level? Then the match began. Messi received the ball. 2 defenders passed. Then 3. The ball danced at his feet. And then a precise shot. Goal. The stadium erupted. In that moment, the football world realized something important. A new star had just been born. But after that night, no one could imagine what was about to happen next. Within a few years, Lionel Messi began doing things that very few players had ever done. Goal after goal. match after match. Defenders surrounded him with 2, 3, even 4 players. But Messi seems to play by different rules. His speed, his balance, his control. The ball looked like it was part of him. Crowds stood up. Commentators shouted in disbelief. And slowly, one question spread across the football world. Can anyone actually stop this boy? Over the years, Lionel Messi didn't just win matches, he rewrote football history. With Barcelona, he won countless trophies and titles. In his career, he achieved 8 Ballon d'Or awards, the most prestigious individual prize in football, 4 UEFA Champions League titles, 10 La Liga titles, hundreds of goals, countless unforgettable moments. But there was always one dream left: the World Cup. Then came 2022. In Qatar, in front of the entire world, Lionel Messi finally lifted football's greatest trophy. In that moment, the world recognized the truth. The small boy from Rosario had become one of the greatest legends in football history. For his incredible performance in 2022, he was once again named the best player in the world. A boy once told he might never grow properly became an immortal legend. This is the story of Lionel Messi.